Hi, welcome into our yoga class today. Today we're going to do a simple hip opener flow. I won't be cueing in any props, but of course you can bring those into your practice. Let's start in a seated position. Hands can rest on your knees, pick up your shoulders and roll them down, and start to lengthen your inhales and exhales. Take this small moment just to appreciate your presence here today, to appreciate your body and your movement and your breath. On your next inhale in, sweep the arms up to the sky, reaching as tall as you're able. Drop one hand down to the earth, and then find a side body stretch. Flow to the other side, and you can even go as deep as to set your whole forearm down on the earth. Flow back and forth, either taking a half breath in each side stretch or a full breath. Make your way back to center. Bring the palms together and let them come to heart center. Adjust your feet so the soles of the feet come together and you find your butterfly pose. Hinge at the waist forward just as far as you're able, and then inhale, come back to your neutral stance. Do this a couple times, exhaling to hinge forward, inhale to come back up. After 2 to 3 reps, on your next hinge forward, fold over your butterfly, rounding at the shoulders, tucking in the chin. Another option for the arms is to reach them to the front of your mat. Find a deep roundness in this pose. On the inhale, the top of your spine should be trying to press to the sky, and the exhale, you should be hinging a little bit more at the waist. Walk yourself back up to an upright position. And let's transition to our tabletop pose. Shoulders over wrist, hips stacked over knees. Once you found your neutral stance, on your inhale, find cow pose. Let's stay here, and on the exhale, sink deeper into the shoulder joints. Then the next exhale out, go ahead and find cat pose. Staying in cat for the inhale, try to pull the shoulder blades away from each other. And then on the exhale, let the head hang heavy and pull away from the neck. You can flow back to your cow pose and take a half or a full breath there. Just find your organic movement in these two poses. Make your way back to your neutral stance. For stability, let's slide the knees close together. Let's pick up our left knee and rotate it into some circles. To reach a wider range of motion, the foot follows the same path as the knee, so you're almost trying to press the foot to the heel of the hand. After 2 to 3 rotations, switch directions. Beautiful, slow and controlled movement, trying to keep the shoulders stable. Now let's switch to the other side. The circle may look smaller or bigger depending on your range of motion. If you're feeling kind of popping or painful discomfort, then just make that circle smaller. Go ahead and set that knee back down, finding tabletop pose. Let's take a break from our wrist, walk our knees back and walk your hands forward and press your chest to the earth, finding our first back bend pose in puppy pose. Curl the toes under so you kind of find a little bit more space to drop the hips down. Inhale to open up the chest deeper to the earth. On your exhale, make your way to a wide child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. Now our forehead and elbows touch the ground. Breathing deeply here, send your breath to your hips. Again, take this moment to send gratitude to yourself towards your mobility and your range of motion. Inhale to come back into your tabletop, and then let's curl the toes under and press the hips to the sky, finding our first downward facing dog. Find any movement that is calling your name. You can pedal out the heels. On your next breath in, lift the left heel to the sky and then open up the hips, bending at the knee, finding three-legged dog. That knee is trying to press higher than your hip bone and your heel is trying to pull back towards the opposite hand. Let's take another inhale to prepare. Exhale, sweep that left knee to left elbow and then set that foot down, finding your lizard pose. Lots of variations here. That back knee can press to the earth, palms can stay down on the earth, or you can drop to forearms. For those without props but want a more restful position, you can stack 2 fists and set your forehead down on them. And then once you find your pose, you can stay here or even rock side to side, eventually letting that inner edge of the left foot come off the ground. Inhale to rise back to your palms for those on their forearms. Curl the back toes under and heel toe that foot towards the center, framing the foot with your hands. Pick up the back knee and step that back foot forward, finding your pyramid pose. Let the head hang heavy and find that roundness. If this is too intense, then you can flatten out that back and find a half lift. In either of these poses, your hips are square and you're pressing your tailbone to the ceiling. Now let's step that right foot forward, finding just our normal forward fold, and then let's plant the hands, step out to our downward facing dog, heading to the other side. Now lifting that right heel to the sky, bending at the knee, and breathing deep all the way from our right hand to our right thigh. Then sweep that right foot to the right side of your mat, walking your hands on the left side of your right foot, setting that knee down, finding lizard. This side might look different. Maybe your forearms can touch the ground or you stay with palms on the earth. We're hugging the right inner thigh towards our right side and our left thigh towards our belly. Let your breath give yourself a little bit of movement here as your shoulders and legs move up and down. Remember, if you have the space, you can rock side to side, now letting that right inner edge of your foot come off the ground. Next, inhale, walk your palms back to the earth, and then let's frame that right foot at the center of our mat. Pick up the back knee. Last time we stepped to pyramid. Another option is you can take 2 to 3 steps till you find your nice staggered stance. You can either find a half lift in pyramid or fold over and find a deep stretch in those hamstrings. If you feel there's too much weight in your shoulders, you can wrap them around the front of your leg so that your body hangs more on your legs rather than your shoulders. Let's step that left foot up to meet the right, finding your forward fold, plant the hands on the ground, and step back into your downward facing dog again. Let's start on that first side. Inhale, left heel to your 3-legged dog. Exhale, sweep the left knee to the left elbow and then lower your body down, coming into your single leg frog pose. Palms can come underneath the face and your right temple can lay on the earth. That knee can slide closer to the front of your mat for more of a stretch. Or another option is to just come into a full frog pose. Belly is hanging soft here, and the only tension should be in that left inner thigh, hugging close to the center midline of your body. This is a great static pose to open up the hips without doing much movement, especially if there's a lot of stiffness in the body. If this is too stiff or tight or there's any cramping, then you can just lower that knee closer to the back of your mat. Now let's lengthen that left leg next to the right. Slide your palms next to your chest, and then inhale, bring the gaze back forward and come into a cobra pose. Exhale to shift back into downward facing dog. Right knee opens up, and then let's sweep it to the right elbow, lower down to the ground, coming into your one-legged frog pose on the other side. Depending on what's comfortable for you, your forehead can rest on your mat or your left temple. Relax here and think about the breath moving the muscles of your hip forward and back. Inhale as the inner thighs reach to your knee, and then exhale as the inner thigh presses to your center midline. Another way to bring awareness to your body is as you're breathing here, notice how your body is pressing against your yoga mat. Notice if your breaths are long or maybe they're a little bit shorter today. Now let's bring that right foot next to the left. Inhale to your cobra and then exhale back to downward facing dog. Then make your way back to a child's pose just for a half breath or two. And then when you're ready, tuck the tailbone in, roll up to a hero pose. Bring your hands to heart center and bowing forward as gratitude. Thank you for practicing with me today. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. Namaste.